pesos muy distintos, nunca se va a poder dar esa pelea.
Nada más se puede, pero si él viene para 168, tal vez.
Sí, pero no creo que lo haga.
Pues sí, lo importante es ganar, vernos bien. Estamos trabajando muy fuerte, creo que tenemos que ganar la pelea.
He could get dropped, or he feels it enough to be like, fuck this, I'm boxing, and goes on the bicycle and turns southpaw for the rest of the night. And I wouldn't blame him either. Fuck it, you're gonna go in there and collect the fucking paycheck at that point.
Right.
You're not gonna go get hurt.
Right.
What good is it to get fucking 20, 30 million if you are fucking hurt physically, end up in the hospital and hurt just physically, life-changing, you don't want that shit.
But you think Canelo can hurt him? It could be life-changing?
Sure, he's that big, fool. One punch could fucking knock him out bad enough to hurt his eye socket or detached retina. You never fucking know.
Right.
The tension exploded. What was supposed to be a routine press conference for Canelo Alvarez versus Terence "Bud" Crawford quickly turned into one of the most heated face-offs yet. And it wasn't Canelo this time. Things ignited when his trainer, Eddie Reynoso, snapped and delivered a chilling warning to Crawford: "You will regret this." This wasn't just ordinary trash talk. Reynoso's words carried serious weight because they spoke to pride, legacy, and the very foundation of Canelo's career. What made it even more gripping was Crawford's reaction. He didn't flinch. He smiled, almost as if Reynoso had confirmed what he already believed, that he had the blueprint to take Canelo down.
Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your home.
I'm taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight
and
night.
I know Turkey's in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't look different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see.
We'll
you know
see.
it.
We'll see.
We gonna see.
But here's where it gets even more intense. This wasn't just a battle of words, it was a battle of perspectives. Reynoso is fighting to defend not only Canelo's legacy but his own reputation as a trainer. Meanwhile, Crawford is betting that his ring IQ and ruthless mindset will erase the size difference.
He's a good fighter, but this is just different. You know,
great fighter.
You see what happened when a good fighter jump up and his opponent is great fighter. So you're gonna find out.
So that means you're a good fighter and Bivol is a great fighter. Is you a good fighter or a great fighter? Let me know.
I'm a great fighter.
So you got your ass whooped by a good fighter, right?
You're a good fighter.
Well, every time you stepped up, you lost. Great fighter.
I'm not.
Legends are divided. Some insist Bud's strength will stun Canelo, while others argue size and power always prevail at 168. Then there's the large middle camp calling it a pure 50-50 fight, where anything can happen. That's exactly why the stakes feel so heavy.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
This press conference may have just shifted the entire narrative heading into the fight of the decade. Here's how it unfolded. Crawford was doing what he does best, calmly, almost smugly, reminding everyone that he's already cracked the Canelo code. Leaning into the mic, Bud said, "I've studied him. I've got the blueprint. He's been beaten before, and I know how to beat him again."
Speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just
Don't diss.
Obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
no, but he's not Kovalev.
Kovalev
We have to
was
respect
older.
the power of Canelo.
And he does.
Billy
he
Joe.
does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power. But all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is night and day.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo go?
Tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching him, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too. It'll be good.
Classic Crawford, cool, collected, but overflowing with confidence. The crowd murmured, and reporters leaned in closer. That's when Eddie Reynoso slammed his hand on the table. "You think this is easy?" he snapped. "Canelo is not those fighters you beat at welterweight. This is a 168-pound champion. You will regret stepping into this ring. You'll regret thinking you can walk in here and embarrass him." In that moment, the headlines practically wrote themselves.
Undisputed at 154, and Canelo hit him, and Jamel was like, hell no, Jamel took a knee, so it's a big difference. And Crawford had that one fight at 154, and he didn't, Madrimov would touch him up a little bit. And this is nowhere close to Madrimov. You talk about Canelo. Now, if it was just another bigger guy, I would go with Crawford. But you talk about this might be, people might kill me for it, but well, not really, but this might be the best Mexican fighter ever. One of them, at least, right? You talk about Canelo and Crawford going up against him. So the only thing they have, but I would say the only thing he has going for him is he's a skillful fighter, and Canelo is older, but so is Crawford too. I think Crawford is 37, 38, something like that. Canelo's 36, so they both are older right now. But man, I don't personally see it. A lot of people see that Crawford can beat Canelo. It's just like that punch resistance is something else. They make weight classes for a reason. If he could beat him, man, I think he on the Mount Rushmore of fighters if Crawford can pull this off. But I don't see it.
So why did Reynoso lose his cool? Simple. This fight isn't just business to him, it's personal.
From Chepo Reynoso to his son and current head trainer Eddie, this collaboration transcends more typical trainer-boxer bonds. They're family.
Me conoce desde que tengo 13 años. Como un hermano, la verdad es que es como familia para mí. Pues prácticamente llegué al gimnasio sabiendo muy poco y Eddie me hizo todo lo que soy. Y Eddie sabe lo que puedo hacer, me manda a hacer lo que sé hacer y sabe que si me manda a hacer algo lo voy a hacer perfectamente. A lo mejor no en ese rato, pero ya lo traigo en la cabeza y en el momento que lo necesite lo voy a hacer. Eso, así, pollo. Tengo un equipo muy bueno y me mantienen tranquilos. Hemos tenido muchos campamentos, hemos estado mucho tiempo juntos. Prácticamente la he pasado más tiempo con ellos que con mi familia quizás.
Reynoso has been with Canelo since his teenage years, watching him rise from a Mexican prodigy to one of the biggest names in sports. Every criticism of Canelo, every claim that Crawford can outbox him, feels like a direct shot at Eddie as well.
Munguía, pues obviamente con Munguía estamos al 100%, ¿no? Él lo sabe. Solamente él sabe lo que pasó. No, al final de cuentas sabe lo que pasó. Obviamente la gente le tira a Eddie que porque Eddie no le lleva su suplementación, Eddie no le lleva sus cosas de lo que tiene que comer, ni mucho menos, para que entiendan. Eddie nomás lo entrena y punto. ¿Cuál fue hace tiempo yo le dije a Eddie, tú tienes, el día que vayas a agarrar un peleador, ¿qué es lo que tienes que hacer? Agarrarlo desde todo. Tú tienes que darle de comer, suplementación y todo. ¿Para qué? Para que no te pasen esas cosas, porque ya han pasado. Y lo que sí tengan bien claro es que nosotros creemos en Munguía, que seguramente lo va a aclarar pronto. Y lo que quiero que tengan bien claro es que Eddie Reynoso no le da su suplementación. Eddie Reynoso nomás se dedica a entrenar. Párenle de contar.
And remember, trainers in boxing aren't just cornermen, they're father figures, mentors, protectors. To Reynoso, Crawford's confidence must have come across as pure disrespect. It wasn't simply, I can beat your fighter. It was, I can tear down everything you've built. No surprise Reynoso snapped. But the real question is, was it genuine anger, or a calculated move? Because let's be clear, press conferences are just another round of the fight.
Be aggressive, not be affected by Bud's punches, and just keep, attacking and imposing that will on him. And then Bud, being the dog that he is, and, just saying, you know what, I'm going to go. I'm letting loose.
Yeah.
I think that can change the effect on Bud, and I think that will be the way that Alvarez can win that fight.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so what do you think? Obviously, if Bud remains slick, what outside of that could cause Canelo to lose?
Canelo is famous for keeping his cool, and Crawford for his icy composure. But when Reynoso stepped in, the script flipped. Suddenly it wasn't just fighter versus fighter, it was trainer versus fighter. The mind games were out in the open.
Things should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamel Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it. And lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky 3 and then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago. Because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
Reynoso's warning, "You will regret this," wasn't just talk. It was a seed of doubt, meant to make Crawford second-guess himself. A reminder, this isn't Errol Spence, this isn't Sean Porter. This is Canelo Alvarez, a tank at 168. But here's the catch, Crawford didn't flinch. No argument, no back and forth. Just a smile, a nod, and a lean back. And if you know Bud, that smile means he's already 10 steps ahead. Reynoso's words weren't random, they were aimed straight at the elephant in the room, size. This fight isn't at welterweight or junior middleweight. It's at super middleweight, 168 pounds, the division Canelo has ruled and thrived in for years.
This is going to be super interesting for Canelo especially. Everyone's focusing on Terence Crawford because he's a smaller guy. How much weight is he going to put on, etc., etc. No rehydration clause in this fight. Meaning, like when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez, because Canelo's the bigger guy, he put a rehydration clause in, because Floyd was the money guy. If Canelo wanted the payday, he had to acquiesce and give Floyd what he wanted. Canelo's the money guy. Terence Crawford can't go in there and say, hey, I want a rehydration clause. Not that he even would, right? So everyone's looking at Crawford. How big is he going to be? But I'm looking at Canelo. What Canelo comes into this fight? The older Canelo, meaning the younger Canelo, the older guy, the old, long time ago Canelo, who was a really well-rounded counterpuncher, who could do everything, or this more recent Canelo, who just hunts guys down and has become more one.
Canelo isn't just a fighter who makes the weight, he's at home there, he dominates there. He cuts down to 168, then rehydrates into the 178, even 180 range by fight night. So when he steps through the ropes, he's practically a light heavyweight in disguise. Thick neck, broad shoulders, legs like tree trunks, he's built like a tank, engineered to break down opponents.
Hold on to your gloves, fight fans. The boxing world is buzzing about the upcoming Canelo versus Crawford showdown. Trainer Bob Santos is placing his bets on Canelo Alvarez, and here's why. It's all about size and power, folks. Canelo's been crushing it at super middleweight, while Crawford is making a massive leap up. Santos thinks Canelo's experience at 168 pounds will be too much for Crawford to handle. But don't count Crawford out just yet. He's undefeated for a reason. Will Canelo's strength prevail, or can Crawford's skills overcome the size difference? This fight's got everyone talking, and it's anyone's game. Who are you rooting for in this epic clash? Drop your predictions in the comments.
Crawford's story is completely different. He's a natural welterweight, he's ruled 147 with unified titles and even dominated at 140 before that. On fight night, Bud might come in around 154, maybe a little more if he pushes it. But that still leaves him at least 15 to 20 pounds lighter than Canelo once they're in the ring. And those pounds matter. They're not just numbers on a scale, they're force behind every jab, every hook, every rib-crushing body shot. That's exactly why Reynoso checked him. He was reminding Crawford, this isn't Errol Spence or Sean Porter anymore. This is a man whose left hook to the body has folded true super middleweights. A man who stood toe-to-toe with light heavyweights like Sergey Kovalev and Dmitry Bivol.
Coming up September, what do you think about that fight?
Canelo Crawford, good fight. Good fight. Canelo has advantage because Crawford moving up, but my advice to Crawford is like maintain the speed, improve the speed, and improve the strength. Because it's hard to go up in high weight and maintain your speed. So speed is the key. like he should focus on speed, footwork, and improve the power.
It's not just about Canelo's offense, it's about his durability. Crawford has stopped big names at welterweight, but can his punches really dent a man who's taken shots from full-fledged 175-pounders and kept pressing forward? That's the doubt Reynoso wants planted in Bud's mind, and in everyone else's too. He wants the size conversation to dominate before the first bell even rings, because here's the reality: despite all the odds, Terence Crawford walks into this fight as the fan favorite. And for Reynoso, that's a problem. This isn't only about Canelo's legacy, it's about his own. Trainers don't throw punches, but their reputations are tied to their fighters. Think about Freddie Roach with Pacquiao, Cus D'Amato with Tyson, Angelo Dundee with Ali. Eddie Reynoso's name has been built on Canelo's shoulders. If Crawford humiliates him, that stain lands on Reynoso too. That's why he's defensive. That's why he checked Bud publicly. For Reynoso, this fight is as personal as it is for Canelo, and of course, the boxing world lit up after that press conference moment. Fernando Vargas even sided with Crawford, saying, "Bud's strength is unreal." Reynoso can warn all he wants, but once the bell rings, it's Canelo who'll have to deal with something he's never felt before.
Wrong. I've actually sparred Crawford. I sparred Crawford, and I was walking around like 180. I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna be chilling. I'm gonna be able to move him around, and nah, bro. Crawford, I think he has like wrestling in his background or whatever.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And he's strong, bro, and he's just a real strong guy. So, it's gonna be a great fight. I feel Crawford has the skills, right? But Canelo has the weight, and he also has the experience.
On the flip side, Antonio Tarver backed Reynoso's warning. But Andre Ward brushed it off as desperation, saying when trainers start barking like that, it's because the pressure is getting to them. Crawford's killer mindset isn't the kind that rattles easy. And then there's Sean Porter, someone who's actually been in the ring with Bud. He kept it honest. Crawford's a monster, no doubt, but Canelo is a different kind of monster altogether.
Say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's gonna be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out,
So once again, boxing finds itself divided. The real question is, does this moment actually change anything inside the ring? For Canelo, it could give him an emotional boost, knowing his trainer is ready to fight his battles before fight night even arrives. For Crawford, it might do the opposite, fuel him even more. Bud thrives on doubt, on disrespect, on being told he can't.
He's never been knocked out before, but he lost fights before, so everybody, that's coming in thinking that I need a knockout to beat Canelo Alvarez is wrong. And that's not the approach that, we take in this fight. If the knockout comes, then it comes. But we're not going in there to knock him out. We're not looking for the knockout.
Terence, you have said if you win, you feel you're on the Mount Rushmore.
I didn't say if I win.
Okay.
I said when I win.
When you win. Well, with that, what is Terence Crawford's legacy with a win over Canelo?
Listen, I already said it. I'm on that.
And let's be honest, Crawford already believes he has the blueprint to beat Canelo. He's repeated it over and over. He doesn't need a knockout, he just needs to control the fight for 12 rounds, the same way Mayweather and Bivol showed it can be done. Reynoso's warning won't erase that belief. What makes this fight so fascinating is that even after all the press conference fireworks, nothing feels settled. Some are doubling down on the idea that Canelo's size will be too much. Others are betting everything on Crawford's ring IQ and adaptability. And then there's a massive group sitting in the middle, calling this exactly what it is, a fight as close as it gets, a true 50-50 clash where every round could swing the narrative.
Just from your expert opinion, knowing how Canelo fights, what he's like in the ring, I know you haven't been in the ring with Terence, but what do you think of that fight?
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, you know, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, you can't.
Guys like Edgar Berlanga straight up said it, anything can happen. Crawford's IQ is off the charts, but Canelo's power is on another level. That's why this fight sits dead even, a true 50-50. And that's exactly why moments like Reynoso snapping matter so much. When the margins are this razor thin, every ounce of psychological warfare could end up being the difference.
Crawford problems. I favor Canelo, not by a lot, but I do favor him. I just think that, you know, I think the Skull fight was just a bad style. And I think Canelo was like, why force the issue? You know what I mean? I'm up. This guy's running. I'm not gonna take a chance. So I think that it was that kind of fight for Canelo. But Marjamal did give Crawford problems. You know what I'm saying? And where I felt like, damn, at 54, he gave you problems. 68 is different.
So now it comes down to one question. Who do you believe? Was Reynoso right? Will Crawford regret moving up to face Canelo's size and power? Or was Bud Smile the real answer, proof that he's already 3 steps ahead and ready to shock the world? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Fight Field for more boxing coverage. I'll see you in the next video.